Hey everyone, this is Pete, and welcome back to Atari A to Z Flashback, a series of short playthroughs of the 150 games that make up Atari Flashback Classics for Nintendo Switch. Today's game is Final Legacy, and I promise this is the last time we'll see this game, the third and final time in fact. So we've already seen this in its Atari 8-bit incarnation, which came out in 1984, and the Atari ST version that came out in 1988 by Paradox Software. This 5200 version never actually saw an official release, but it existed in prototype format, and due to the fact that the Atari 5200 was essentially an Atari 8-bit inside, the prototype was essentially complete. In this version though, we once again encounter regrettably dodgy pokey sound emulation, but aside from that, this is still a good game, and it's nice to be able to play it on console now as well. So let's go play Final Legacy for the final time.
Okay, here we are once again with Atari Flashback Classics, and yeah, I'm aware that we're looking at this game twice in 1 week, and that we've already seen it on the Atari 8-bit Atari A to Z series, but it's worth one last look at this just to acknowledge that there is a 5200 version out there as well, although, as I've mentioned, up until sort of these official releases as part of the Flashback Classics collections, it's only existed in prototype form. So let's have a look at the manual. So you'll notice that, like the other 5200 prototypes in here, the manual is actually the one for the Atari home computer version rather than the 5200 specifically. Right, let's have a look through, because I don't think we saw this in the when we looked at the 8-bit version, did we? So, Geneva, Switzerland, 1st of the 1st, 2001. The far future. Nuclear disarmament talks between East and West warmongers break down. Government leaders prepare for war. Washington and Moscow, 1st of the 2nd, 2001, or 2nd of January, I think, because these are probably American dates. Over 2 million demonstrators calling themselves patriarchs gathered today to protest the warmongers' determination to destroy the world. Washington, 5th of January 2001. The East and West warmongers today launched simultaneous attacks on each other's missile bases, arsenals, and major population centres. There will be no survivors, say their leaders. Our intention is to win this war, even if it means turning the Earth into a dead zone. Larsen Ice Shelf, Graham Land Peninsula, Antarctica, 6th of January 2001. Surviving patriarchs land in sub-zero temperatures. Nork, Antarctica, 30th of May 2051. Patriarchs pick up radio signals from the dead zone. Surviving patriarch colonists intercepted radio communications today from missile sites in the dead zone. Informed sources believe that the sites, programmed to continue the war begun but never finished by warmongers 50 years ago, will soon strike major patriarch outposts. Nork, Antarctica, 1st of June 2051. Arming of new battleship Legacy completed. The Legacy to set sail for the dead zone. Alright, so gameplay in this, as we've seen in the previous times we've seen it, there are sort of strategic and action elements to this. So you have to move the Legacy around in order to move to missile sites and change between various different modes in order to battle the enemies, who are the robotic forces of the former warmongers. So I think best thing to do is just play it and explain as I go along. So let's do that. Just check if there's anything else worth noting in the manual. No, that's about it. Okay, so let's just play. Right, let's play on Lieutenant mode. There's the dodgy pokey emulation at work again. So I normally just play on Ensign mode, but I'm going to play on what did I just say? Lieutenant mode in this one, just to see what it's like. So in Lieutenant mode, in contrast to Ensign mode, you have a few hidden. Oh no, that's wrong. You have a few hidden missile bases that you need to track down, and you do that by destroying the ships that are called intelligence ships. Trouble is, you don't know which ones those are. So in the meantime, let's just go and blast away at a few bad guys. And hopefully get rid of all of them before the missiles hit whatever they're aiming at. 6 seconds. Hurry up. C to air. Quick. Got there just in time. Yeah, so there's a few very minor differences in this version to the Atari 8-bit version. The colour scheme is slightly different, but I don't know how much of that is sort of emulation foibles. And how much of that is that it's actually different in the 5200 version. What am I doing? This. There are some slight differences with things like the aim sights on the C to air section as well. And I think the laser sound effect is slightly different as well. But again, that could be an emulation issue, because there is a bit of dodgy, pokey emulation going on in this collection, as we've previously seen with other 5200 games that we've played. Now, fortunately, the sound issues aren't too much of a problem in this, because the only music you hear is when you win. And the actual sound effects are perfectly fine, as you can hear. So that's good. Right, navigate. Bring me to this missile site. And take down the missiles. So I think the manual said that there are 4 hidden missile sites in this mode. So if we just take out the ones we can see to begin with, and then if we happen to come across an intelligence ship while we're moving around, then so much the better. Oh no! No! Ouch. Right. Moving on. See to land. Plenty of time for this one. Oh no! Another launch. So many missile launches. I must defend my Norks. That's Nork Antarctica, I'll have you know. And all of the Norks that are living there. Must also save the city of Bonn, with one N, and the city of Kyo. Any resemblance to real places, or any real-world conflicts, is purely coincidental. This is nothing to do with the Cold War. Absolutely nothing to do with paranoia over the Cold War and what the Soviets might do to people. This is purely a speculative, hypothetical, science fiction, military action game with no connections to the real world whatsoever. I think you know very well that's not true. Right, so now we've got to find the ones we can't see. So, let's go a-hunting. Let's hunt a hunter. Pew! Oh. How many of that missed? No! No, 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 no. No shooting missiles in my face. I will shoot missiles in your face. Torpedoes, more accurately. Right, I believe you can recognize the... Yeah, here we are. Because the intelligence boats don't pursue you on the map. So if you look... Well, that's one way of dealing with them. Just ram into them. That's good. So that should have revealed... No, it hasn't. Okay, fair enough. So I guess you've got to destroy it with your torpedoes rather than by ramming into them. Which is, I say, jolly awkward. Eh? What? No. Slow down. Slow down. And death to you. Yeah, this is so much better than the Atari ST version, isn't it? You're not an intelligent ship. Nope, go away. Leave me alone. Leave me alone! Yeah, it's just bizarre to me that the Atari ST version of this runs so much slower, at a worse frame rate, has worse sound effects, and just isn't as fun. So good job, Paradox Software. You did a great job. Right. Ah, that's revealed one. Yes, so you do have to... Oh, I think you're another intelligence one, aren't you? Yeah, you do have to destroy them with your torpedoes and not crash into them. Yeah, there we are now. There's 2 revealed. Wonderful. We haven't got a lot of fuel left. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, God. Too many things to think about at once. Shoot down the missiles first. Yeah, this is one of the reasons I wanted to try one of the harder difficulty levels, because I previously sort of always play on Ensign, and Ensign gives you an idea of how all the various components of the game work, but it doesn't really reflect quite how frantic this game can get at times. I think just bumping it up to Lieutenant level is just starting to give you a hint of what you might end up having to deal with in this game. Lovely. Next. Next. Bring it on. I still love just the whole aesthetic of this display here. Just reminds you of like the 1980s vision of the future. And what sort of sci-fi from the period looked like. Right, I think we're probably going to need to refuel. So the way we do that is we head back to one of our cities. Deal with any pesky boats on the way. Not a boat, it's a ship. I used to know people who got really pissy about that. Yes, people who are interested in boats and or ships get really upset when you call them the thing they're not. Alright, dock for fueling. Fueling. Fueled. You have to be careful in that because you can shoot your laser and destroy the city. Now, how do we get out of there? I think we have to actually... Yeah, there we go. We have to actually hit the separate button on the 5200 controller. Right, we need some more intelligence. You will do. No, you're a hunter. Ouch! Thought I'd got out of range of that, but apparently not. Ow! Oh god, this guy is vicious! Oh, there is an intelligence ship there, and it's shooting at us! Unacceptable! It was a nice leading shot, wasn't it? It was completely unintentional, but, well, it was good. You're not intelligence, you're chasing me. You might be intelligent, sir, so I'm going to torpedo the both of you. Yeah, I still really like this game, and I think it stands up really well today, just because it's so very different to so many other games that were around at the time. Because it's not trying to be one thing. It's doing lots of different things, and it's doing all of those things really well. I read a review of this a while back, that sort of said that by themselves, none of the individual components of this game would have been super special. So, like, if this game was just this torpedo sequence, for example, it would have been a bit of a boring game. But because this torpedo sequence is incorporated into something much bigger, no, it's a much more interesting game as a result. And it's the blend of these different genres and the way that they all work together, and the way that the whole game is structured, making you move quickly back and forth between different screens and prioritizing what you need to do at any given moment, that make this such an interesting, cool game. And one that no one seems to talk about. Well, I've loved this game since childhood, because we had like a prototype version of the Atari 8-bit version. We had a pirate copy of that. When it was just called Legacy rather than Final Legacy. And I absolutely adored it as a kid. Yay, we won! Yeah, I absolutely adored this game as a kid, and I still enjoy playing this today. This is more than pretty much anything on this collection. This is a game that I boot up more than any of the others. Just because it's so much fun, aside from this music. Which is not the worst I've heard reproduced. Not the worst I've had reproduced by this emulation of the 5200, but, you know, it's not great. But anyway, that was Final Legacy for Atari 5200. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please help out the channel by leaving a like or a comment and subscribing. New episodes of Atari A to Z are on Tuesdays and Atari ST A to Z on Thursdays. Check out atariatoz.wordpress.com for a full archive. Do please also check out my other projects moegamer.net, where I explore Japanese and Japanese-inspired games from yesterday and today, and videopackgames.wordpress.com, which aims to catalogue the small but well-formed library of the Philips G7000 Videopack computer, also known as the Magnavox Odyssey 2. You can also support my work on Patreon or buy me a coffee. You can find links to do both down in the video description. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.